We have to go back to the 14th century, some 700 years ago, when Dante wrote his three-part poem, which began with the Inferno. The Divine Comedy has three parts. The first part is, of course, Inferno. And in Inferno, he takes a journey with the great Roman poet Virgil through hell, essentially, and encounters 9 different circles of hell. And so in this cheerful and upbeat presentation, I'm going to take you through the 9 circles of hell which surround and continue to burn within the world of digital marketing. Some caveats first, though. Clearly, in this allegory, I'm not trying to say that Google is Satan. Let's make that very clear. And that Facebook is not the devil. It turned out that Facebook, like everyone else, were just another form of advertising. What's to stop this from happening again with digital advertising and programmatic? If we all fell hook, line, and sinker for social media and organic collaborative relationships and communications, how do we know it won't happen again? We've created, with the rise of the internet, a perfect environment for fake news. So see the double whammy. We've created literally a perfect culture for the bacteria of lies and overstatement. And we've eradicated or reduced dramatically the fourth estate, media, the one bleach we can often use to objectify and identify fakeness that's out there. Whether you swing Fairfax or you swing news, left or right, it doesn't matter. Both of those organizations have had phenomenal editorial investigative capabilities, and they're not as good as they once were. They're a tiny peon of what they once were. And so, we don't have the bleach anymore, but we got millions and millions of Petri dishes of bacteria. The murky, fraudulent media supply chain that forms what some of us often call programmatic. Let me take $100 of your money and show you where it goes. When I was a young man working in marketing in the late 80s and early 90s, we were deeply fucking unhappy with a 15% commission which we paid to our agencies. That seemed unfair and frightfully high, so we squeezed it down with procurement. Well, congratulations, because now your commission's 60%, there's progress for you. Every fucker's clipping your ticket. But the world is so complex and fast-moving, you don't know it's being clipped. It disappears into a vast supercomputer, a long tail, and you assume it's working great. It's not. Clients haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. They naively walk through the fields of digital like a small child with a little puppy. And they have not the time, not the expertise, and certainly not the training to work any of this out. The reason why the large consulting firms are coming and you can't stop them is because it's a giant clusterfuck. At the end of Inferno, Dante finds Lucifer, frozen up to his waist, staring at a world that he can no longer understand. And something equivalent has just been published by the World Federation of Advertisers. They asked their top 50 marketers, these are the CMOs at the biggest companies, to anonymously answer several questions. Now, to give you some idea, these marketers are running the biggest companies in the world. Their combined ad spend in Australian dollars for 2017 is $108 billion, 5 times more than we spend in the whole country of Australia. They asked them, how many of you think that digital media adds value and you can prove that it adds value? The answer was 55% said it could, and 45% said either they didn't believe it could or they weren't sure it really was. 45% of them, nearly half, aren't sure that digital media is actually adding value to their businesses. When they asked them, are you satisfied with measurement of digital marketing, 62% said no. And when they asked them, do you think brands have overinvested in digital media, a remarkable 72% said yes. So you can imagine what happened when they asked these marketers, will you spend more on digital video next year? You know what they said? Oh, fuck yeah. You bet I will. How do we explain this? How do we explain this? We explain this because we love toys, shiny, shiny things. This is what these conferences are about. This is what marketers want to talk about, not segmentation or positioning or codes or tarps, research. We want to talk about shiny shit, robots and AI, yeah? All I know right now about marketing is that somewhere on the planet right now, some numbskull is writing an article about virtual reality and how it will be massive in 2018. We've been seeing those articles for 10 years. They keep writing them. The reality is we are obsessed with new shit and it gets in the way of our jobs. And listen, it's going to get worse.